At times, it feels like our planet is coming unraveled. But I'm betting on we have the capacity to be able to sit with one another and to harness the incredible energy that comes from really valuing innate difference. I did not wake up 35 years ago and decide that this was the path that I was going to be on. I took a step forward and then another step after that. My journey with diversity, equity, and inclusion started in 1987, where at the prompting of a friend and colleague, I attended a 2-hour workshop facilitated by a man named Harrison Sims on celebrating difference through building alliances. So from that initial meeting, I was determined that Harrison could be my mentor, guru, coach. And I kept badgering him. And this went on for years. Like, I want to come down to San Francisco, which I did that a couple of times, but I escalated it because I didn't believe in my ability to do this work myself. 3 years into my partnership with Harrison, he came to Portland and we co-led a one-day workshop. And at that point in my development, I still didn't believe in my ability to do this work. So I would call it was my potted plant phase. I was in the room, but I didn't know that I could do any of this. I convinced him that weekend. He gave up and said, okay, fine, you can come to San Francisco apprentice with my organization. And I'm like, yes, that's what I need to do. 3 days later, I received a phone call from a friend in San Francisco telling me that Harrison had died of a heart attack at age 47. His death hit me hard, but it was yet another transformative moment where I decided literally that night in my sleep that I was leaving my job and I was going full in to follow my passion, follow my heart. After Harrison's passing, I decided to go down to Oakland for a celebration of his life. There were 400 people there who had been impacted by Harrison, similar to me. And it was in that moment that I realized that this work is really about people-to-people connection. It's not about the topics. It's not about the issues. They're certainly important. It's about our relationships with one another. And it was from that set of events and watching how he had impacted people where I said, I need to make this my life's work. This is important for me as a cisgendered straight white guy. And hence that began this journey, which continues to this day. I realized that I had bought into a myth, that I was totally dependent on people of color, on women and out gay lesbian folk to teach me and other white men, that I couldn't teach myself. I certainly couldn't learn anything from other white men. Shattering that myth was not only incredibly liberating, but it was energizing, and it helped me to fully step into my own personal power in me doing my work, which then fundamentally transformed how I showed up in partnership in a very new way with women, people of color, and other folk. Every day, I'm really trying to pay attention to what part of my upbringing, whether it was yesterday or 50 years ago, is showing up in either helping or hindering my ability to notice what's happening and to be curious about someone else's experience rather than me attributing meaning to what's going on for them. So using my confusion as a cousin of my curiosity has been an incredibly powerful link for me. Rather than when I'm confused, I'm lost, I don't know what I'm doing. But really, it's an invitation to curiosity. Tell me more about myself, about others. When we show up from a place of courage and we speak what's on our heart to one another, it is a connection from human to human. It's a connection that is needed in business, in life, in general. Starting from that place of trusting intuitively wherever I'm at, perfect or imperfect, bring it all, whatever that is essential. It's an essential foundational building block that has to be there when we start to then build trust across difference. I remembered something that Harrison had told me many, many years ago, and that's just be who you are with all of your brilliance and imperfections. Bring it all. Again, at the end of the day, this work is more about being, not the doing. The doing's important, don't get me wrong. The being piece is about how we be with self and others. Will it be easy? Of course not. Great things are never easy. We can do it. We must do it.